Good morning and welcome back to Bald Father Bets. So, like I said, headed to the Texas-Ohio State game today, so we're going to make this one a quick one. Recap of yesterday, both games were toss-ups, both ended up being one-unit losses. Hopefully you took the advice and lowered that shit down. Georgia Tech, Colorado probably should have been a win. If you can just get Haynes King down there at the end, they kick a field goal and win it, and then you get the cover from Colorado. They did not, unfortunately. Also, he probably shouldn't have scored on that play. He probably should have gone down so then they could run the clock and kick it, which I think he knew when he scored. You could kind of see it in his body language, but whatever. Then Auburn-Baylor, that one was also a toss-up. It was mainly Baylor not converting fourth downs was the difference in that game. But good for Jackson Arnold to see him play a good game, and mistake-free, for the most part, mistake-free. A little bit on Thursday night's game, one of the things that we said we were looking at was the growth of Raiola in year two, which he did show. The main issue is, though, that for as much coaching as that guy's gotten from pros, it's crazy how he still drops the ball below his waist every single time to throw. Like, he doesn't just take it back. He takes it to either his belt line or even below his belt line to come over. He's going to need to clean that shit up if he's truly going to reach his potential, because he has immense potential. You saw it on display against Cincy 2 nights ago. But anyway, we're into Saturday. Okay, so we got a five-piece nugget, I think, coming at you. First one is, we've had this pick in since February, March of this year. You guys know Texas +4 for 10 units. You obviously can't get that anywhere. Some places Texas is now favored. With the line currently where it's at, I would lean the places that has Ohio State at a 1.5 point favorite. If you want to make a bet on it, but I would take the units way down to like 2. I think either team in this game +4 is pretty solid. When the line's at like a 1 or a 1.5, I think either one of these teams is winning this game by somewhere between 1 and 4 points. So anyway, I won't get into details on that one because we've already covered it, but just from a schematic standpoint, a lot of the stuff I'm looking at here is, I think Ohio State will come back out in a 4-2-5. I think they'll do the inverted Tampa 2 with Caleb Downs as kind of that rover in the middle. If they don't, they're crazy. Caleb Downs offers you the ability to go 4-3-4, 4-2-5, traditional 4-2-5, 3 high safety, or you can bring Caleb Downs into the nickel. So if they don't do that, I mean, I know Patricia likes the 3-4, but I would be pretty shocked if they don't at least stick to that. They've only had one off season of install with Patricia's system. When Texas is on defense, you're going to see them in a 2 high shell. If you can't stop Ohio State with 2 high safeties, if you have to go on single high, you're done. Nobody beats Ohio State under day in single high safety because they beat you on the outside. They'll always have a matchup advantage on you on the outside with the wide receivers that they've had under day. So Texas will play the two high shell. Taff and probably Derek Williams would be my guess. Will be who back there. I expect Gilbo on the outside, obviously Malik Muhammad, and then Grayson Littleton may play the slot corner, the nickel. If they do that, expect to see Jeremiah Smith lined up in that slot to test that early. Grayson's a true freshman. But then the other key of this is, can Texas generate rush game outside of outside zone? Because outside zone traditionally under Knowles, but I don't think it's going to change in one game. Ohio State is the best team in the nation at defending outside zone run. You saw it in the Cotton Bowl last year. So if Texas can't generate anything from powered gap, I think they'll be in trouble there. In theory, they should be able to, because the strength of the offensive line should be the interior. And in theory, the weakness of Ohio State's defense is interior defensive line. But again, these are all theories because it's week 1. We haven't seen anyone play. But anyway, Texas +4. Again, gave that to you guys back in like February or March. So then the other noon game, Syracuse +14 for 1 unit against Tennessee. Mainly what we're looking at there is I don't really care about Nico versus Joey Aguilar. That isn't the big. I mean, Joey's a little bit more turnover prone, but quarterbacks don't really turn the ball over in Heupel's offense. The replacement on Tennessee's offensive line is the main thing here. I think Tennessee was kind of in for a down year, whether they had Nico or not. Syracuse is a solid program. I like what they've done under Brown. I also like kind of how they've done in the transfer QB market, really 2 years in a row now. And games in a dome, Syracuse is used to playing in a dome. I think that helps. And 14 points is just a lot of points for a week one game when you're replacing as much as Tennessee is replacing, even if you do have an overall roster talent advantage. Then 12:45, we like Toledo plus 10.5 for the Tennessee Syracuse games, 1 unit. We like Toledo plus 10.5 for 1 unit against Kentucky. This one's gotten a little bit too trendy for my liking, but honestly, there's a chance here that Toledo's just a better team and that they win the game outright. But obviously, we're going to take the 10.5. I'm not going to go into too much detail on it. It's a 1 unit play, and it's just it makes sense. I mean, mathematically, 10.5 for these two teams is, even if the game is in Lexington, is just too much. Then headed into that afternoon game, we got Florida State plus the 14 against Alabama. Main thing we're looking at here is that Gus Malzahn offense combined with Castellanos. That's going to shorten the game a lot. They're at home in Tallahassee. When you can shorten the game, then you can cover spreads as an underdog a little bit easier. I don't love Ty Simpson at quarterback, but I love everything else about Alabama. And also, obviously, they have two very key injuries at defensive line and running back heading into this one. But I think overall, Alabama will still be too much and they'll ultimately win the game. I just think it may look a little uglier in the beginning than one would hope if you're an Alabama fan. So we're taking the points of Florida State, 1 unit. Then we go into primetime, LSU, Clemson. We have LSU plus the 4.5 for 3 units. Love Clemson. You guys have heard me talk about them all off season. That's just a little bit too many points in a game that I think is going to have a lot of fireworks. 2 of the most veteran QBs in the country, with 2 of the most high-powered passing attacks in the country. The worry here is obviously LSU's offensive line against the defensive line from Clemson. TJ Parker, Peter Woods, those boys, that's probably the best defensive line in the country at Clemson. But in theory, again, LSU has also made some strides in the transfer portal. Concern, though, is obviously offensive line. If they can't hold up, then Nussmeier is not a mobile quarterback at all. He's a statue. He needs pocket time. When he has it, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Probably has the best arm right now out of anyone in college football. So anyway, that's LSU plus 4.5, 3 units. And then the last game, we're taking UCLA plus the 6 at home against Utah for a unit in that 10 p.m. kickoff. From an overall roster standpoint, it's kind of strange. UCLA actually may have Utah here. Obviously, I trust Whittingham from the coaching staff more. I trust what Utah's doing. You guys know they're one of my likes in the Big 12 to win it. But I think 6 points is a little much. I think there'll be a pop at home from the Nico boost. UCLA home games have been just absolute dreadful, but considering you're getting a night game out there, prime time and what is California time, and you have that attention from Nico, you should see a little bit more with regards to their home stadium. So that's it for the day. I got to get going, guys. It's time for game day. Hook 'em horns. Everyone have a great first Saturday of college football. Stay safe out there. And thank you for watching. Give this video a like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, so you're making sure you get our updates. And like I said, thank you. Have a great day.